going on, Aru? Getting ready, getting all set up here. Got a little bit of a lag in my broadcast, it seems, I guess. How you doing, Aru? Everything's good? Just waiting for them to finish up. Give me just a second, just tweeting this out.
So this is unique almost just to Web3. All the YouTubers kind of hang out together. They kind of support each other. They grow with each other. BitBoy did an amazing panel. By the way, Brian, shout out for BitBoy. He did an amazing panel yesterday and he said, hey, I didn't just win, we all won. Being authentic and having the audience best interest in mind increases Massive Dog. As Massive Dog is increasing, we go with it, we all come together. There's no drama here. You guys are awesome. Hey, big hand to the YouTubers.
Yeah, I'm going to try and do something more weekly again. We just got to kind of get a schedule together. Take a little bit of a break from the Infinity Sundown to as we switched over to Madmen Crypto, but we'll eventually get there. Yeah, they're still on stage, and they're usually cleared off by now. Just make sure that they didn't flip it around again. Doesn't look like it.
We're all passionate. Any other questions?
Somebody's question is, where's the party at tonight? The person you should go to is Adam.
Now, Frick Horse is the guy outside of the lawnmower. Perfect timing, right?
So I've always been somebody that wanted to be an educator and provide information to people looking to get into the space. But if you were to try to find me right now, you wouldn't be able to. Has that kind of publicity and lack of privacy ever impacted you guys in a negative way?
If you have any kind of audience on social media, you're going to get barraged with just like hateful, trolly comments, you know, no matter if you're in crypto or anywhere. So it ain't for the faint of heart, and you do need to like learn how to get through that. But it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I'm going to just jump in and say what you're describing there is, we call it micro celebrity. I mean, nobody on the panel has like 15 million subscribers.
Turn the mic on. I'll pop over and we'll just kind of catch up to the tail end of what's going on at that NFT Expo. Yeah, Chuck and Cage should be flipping over to their stage shortly. So that's supposed to start at 6:30 our time, which is 3:30 their time.
Like public life is over, right? Here, it's probably a little bit more targeted. It is a little bit unnerving for a guy like me who's got a smaller following here on stage to to show up to some
Hey, what's going on, Hippo?
somebody walk up who I've never met before, be like, "Oh, hey Seth, what's going on?" Really familiar, right? And it does happen. That's a little weird, but it's also, you know, it's validation that what we're doing matters.
Noob.
What we're doing is personal, right? So thankfully, like
You're funny.
that's how I take it, is that it's proof.
Yeah, these guys are just finishing up. They should be on within the next couple of minutes. Usually, they've been actually finishing up about 5 minutes early, and then I guess switching up the stage, and then everybody else getting over
We have
to
one
that
final question
stage.
from a lovely lady you all know.
What's the best part about being a YouTuber? Can I get this?
Go ahead.
The best part for me about being a YouTuber and creating content and being able to work from home is I have got a 5-year-old daughter. So the fact that I don't have to drive, and I'm born and raised LA. I'm born and raised LA County. The fact that I don't have to commute round trip 3 hours, 5 times a week, 4 times a week, and I get to pick my daughter up from school. I get to take her to school. I get to eat dinner with her. I get to help her with her homework. That's pretty amazing, because if any of you are in the audience, y'all live in LA and you have kids, you're working, the commute time is absolutely a nightmare. So for me, that's probably the best part about being a YouTuber.
What's up, Yoda?
Too. I get to reach a global audience, and I get to talk, and I get to have an impact on people who maybe just need to hear that everything is going to be okay.
You've all had people tell you that you changed their lives, right?
Especially
Appreciate you guys coming out.
It's all worth it. Hey,
Make sure you hit that like and subscribe as I get this. Start repeating that one. I put a little ticker tape in the bottom there. This way, you guys could,
it's cool.
you know,
We all do it. These guys
be
are
reminded
on stage
constantly.
every day, showing the real face, take you into your lives, and talking about things that are very necessary.
Yeah, I'll turn it up when it switches over to Cade and Chuck.
YouTube's where they go. And it's
Hopefully, they should be on this stage, because there was a screw up yesterday with the stages, the platinum and the diamond stages, because there's 3 stages, got mixed up, but I figured it out. So
of applause
hopefully, no issues today.
come up here.
Ran some tests yesterday, so it could be as smooth as possible for you guys.
To wrap this up, I'm going to hype each one and tell you to like and subscribe. It's YouTube, baby. Mickey, where do they find you?
You can find me at Cryptic Crypto, Cryptic with a K.
They should be on this stage.
Altcoin Daily, where do they go?
YouTube, Twitter, Altcoin Daily. Also, feel free to come up to us after the show and say hi.
Wendy?
Twitter. Well, I just shit post a lot on Twitter because why not? But mostly YouTube, TikTok. I've got a free newsletter. I highly recommend y'all.
Of course, they're gonna run long.
Writers are absolutely outstanding, and sometimes on Instagram you may catch me with some food pics.
Mind your biz.
I rank for Mind Your Biz on every major.
You hit the button, Hippo. Seriously?
As in, what's mine? Your B-I-Z.
Can't take you guys anywhere.
Grind.
You can find us on YouTube mostly, and then the major social media platforms at MetaMoney. So
Dancing with Wendy on TikTok.
yeah, that as well.
Like and subscribe, guys. Thanks for coming out. It's been a long weekend. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
that you stuck around for the main event. We're going to pose for a picture and then come say hi.
Alrighty, they're calling it the main event. So this should be it. Hopefully it'll be good. With Chuck and Cade, it's always is. Hopefully I'm not too loud. Turn myself up just a little bit. There we go. Come on. Excited. Been looking forward to this event here for A Nation for a couple of weeks now. Should be good.
Round of applause for your MC who's been here 3 days straight and still somehow has the voice and the energy to be on here.
Let's go. All right, we are super excited for the next group of guys. We've got a short video, so I think we'll play that first, and then they'll come up and talk to you.
Volume's
I'll
good?
introduce them after the video. So here it goes.
Hi, my name is Cade Vu. I'm one of the founders of A Nation.
And I'm Chuck Russell, filmmaker and co-founder. Kate and I would like to introduce you to A Nation. A Nation is an exciting new concept that combines a growing global cryptocurrency ecosystem with the world of film and television. It's an idea whose time has come. At A Nation, we are the audience, and the audience is us.
How freaking cool is that? Man, I can't wait to see what we're going to do with A Nation and the movies we're going to produce.
Hi guys, I want to introduce you guys to the person who produced, directed, created most of these films. Is Chuck Russell, and
Hey, folks.
for A Nation Media Limited.
Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Chuck, let's let them know what A Nation is about and how we got to this point that we have.
I've been making films for a while. These are some of my films. We just finished shooting a $20 million film in Maui that's coming out later this year called Paradise City with John Travolta and Bruce Willis and Cade Vu. So
Yeah.
you'll see Cade in action there. We've gotten to a point in Hollywood where there's always change. The only thing sure in life is change, right? And every 10 years, Hollywood goes through big changes. We really believe this is the next big one. Tokenization, using the global cryptocurrency ecosystem to empower filmmaking all over the world, and decentralize film itself. Give new opportunities to new filmmakers. I think the difference with A Nation, I make event films. I make commercial films. I use studio distribution. I have studio partners. And everyone's watching us right now. There's a real interest in moving forward into incorporating crypto in media.
Yeah, and the point about the way that A Nation is designed, we have 3 pillars, and the pillars would be community, creativity number 1, communities number 2, and globalization. And everything that's occurring right now, everyone's trying to do this, but the problem is that there needs to be clout, there needs to be a movement, there needs to be somebody who has the pedigree behind it to be able to push everything forward so that we can officially break through the gatekeeping. But we want to do it in a collaboration kind of styling, in that making sure that people understand that we want to work with everyone, bring everyone together, unity, and create a new way of doing things, an option, an ability to be able to use a different style to move film forward. So
one of the reasons I think that's obviously needed right now, people always complain about too many sequels, seeing the same stars in similar roles. Hollywood's fantastic. We have great partners in Hollywood, in traditional Hollywood. But it's time for some fresh work, some fresh filmmakers. Honestly, in those reels, they're fantastic stars, but half of them weren't stars at all. Jim Carrey was not a feature film star. He wasn't really wanted at the time. He'd done In Living Color. Ace Ventura was not out yet. I saw him in stand-up. I said, this guy's a genius. And I got New Line to change a horror film into a comedy, and we made The Mask. That's almost impossible today. With the levels of corporatocracy in the studio system, they all mean well, but they tend to grind out the same kind of films. But that's the economy of filmmaking, too. The Mask was my biggest hit because it was my most original film with fresh faces in it. The Matrix, the Wachowskis tried to make The Matrix for years. They finally convinced Warner Brothers to make that film. That, again, was not an easy path for them. As we bring the crypto universe into film, bring new filmmakers and new stories, we no longer have to get approval from a dozen executives who are concerned about downside. There'll be more creativity, there'll be more global pictures, there'll be more global stars, there'll be more diversity, and we hope A Nation leads the way. So I'm willing to step forward in my flow of developing films and move them over into a universe where we can start to incorporate crypto.
Yeah, and the most important thing is that you have to understand is that this token that we have is based on something that's function and utility that's been working, been doing its thing before the crypto market even existed in the first place, before Bitcoin, BTC even existed. So the point is that all we're needing to prove is that can crypto help fund a film? And if it can, then that should then at that point allow everyone to see and understand the possibility of where it can go, because everyone is afraid of the word crypto. There's so many scams out there, there's things going on, and then so if you think about it this way, this man is risking something that has the pedigree of the thoroughbred horse, but yet he's going to risk that to ensure why? Because he wants to create change. You know, all these things that are occurring right now could be like a financial gain. People could think about it in a financial gain. This man is comfortable. What he wants is change because he's tired of the way the gatekeeping has been. The industry's been bad. I personally walked away from the industry. Paradise City was the last film that I was going to do, period, just because of I came from.
But so many people like him in the film. Kate has a serious problem coming up.
Yeah, I don't want to be in it any longer just because I have anxiety with being in front of the camera. But the point is that even right now, I'm like, da, 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 you know. But the point is that the way the system's been built, the way a lot of discrimination and things occur actually inside the film industry, behind the scene that occurs. And it's all because of the gatekeeping. And now Chuck wants to show that there's a different way that we can move forward, not only move forward, but to be able to accelerate it because of it being able to cut out all the middlemen. So he said, talk about that.
I spent my whole career trying to put the money on the screen. That's the term I use. I don't want to see, a third of the money go to keeping studio properties, and God bless all my pals at the studio, but a lot of that money goes into their overhead and their accounting systems. Imagine you own a percentage of net points in a particular film and it's on the blockchain. Okay, there's total transparency. You don't have to hire a team of accountants to challenge a studio team of accountants. And by the way, piss them off. Yep. It's just black and white. You make a successful film, you share in that success. So that is one of the basic components. The thing that blows my mind, Cade was really teaching me crypto. I was getting into it, and he knows what he's doing, gang. But imagine the hype of a film, how it will affect for the token holders, the value of their token. Every time I announce a film, or we announce a cast for that film, or we bring people backstage into our stunt rehearsals, which are token holders who have access to every stage of filmmaking, that will hype up the token itself and the value of the token.
So you want me to go into the token?
I think so. You guys want to hear about the tokenomics?
Yeah. So the key thing about the token, the way it works is it's multiple advantages. But if you hold on to the token, just holding on to the token itself, it should rise based on a reflection of his career, reflection of the projects that getting introduced. And unlike other projects where they're out there to create certain projects and it's like you only can do so many. With film, he himself can't handle all of it anyway, because you can create as many as people want to watch, right? It's unlimited. Films will never end. And the point is that a project can always be stated, always be released, always be announced, and that the token will reflect on base of his announcement, production. As film goes on, it increases in value. Why? Basis because we will also have a tokenized gateway system that only token holders can be able to see really cool aspects of how film development is done behind the scene. So then what that occurs is that sets a precedent that only allows for tokenized people to hold, and as they hold the token, when the Chuck's film personally goes into distribution and it comes out and it has the net, how should I say, net total that comes out, then you have what we will reward the holders.
The value of the film.
Yeah, we will reward the holders in mirroring reflection of that increase in value with BUSD. And BUSD is a 1-to-1, pegged 1-to-1 USD, and everyone know it's not like the Luna. It's actually has assets, and the Binance is probably one of the biggest exchange, one of the biggest blockchain that is here, and it's one of the most powerful. So it'll be alive. Don't worry about it, like Luna dropping and just going to nothing. But also too, how it helps token holders too. Token holders are able to get to the point where they can actually take a token, invest it into a project, and this is what Chuck will be doing later on. He'll onboard creative minds through full trailers. Can you explain full trailers?
So our business model centers on commercial films, lowest being 5 million, and we'll see, sky's the limit, probably 5 to 25 in the Netflix zone for the first year. We're going to get 3 films into production in the first year. I'm already developing the properties for those films. So that starts with feature films that will be streaming or theatrical release. It's always open. Our token holders will benefit from the net value of those films. Our token holders will benefit from all the hype of those films. And our token holders will benefit from the NFTs from those films. We traditionally sign every actor for their image. They have to approve what we do, but we'll be doing NFTs. And that's three value streams, call it. So beyond these gift coins and cool coins and cartoon coins, all have awesome value. We're making movies, folks, and streaming television, and we're bringing up other filmmakers with us potentially for short films, or if our community votes for them, we may develop individual new filmmakers into feature films, and I will mentor them, which I've done before, and one of the reasons I'm here now.
So I'll bring that topic up to the A-Vested. A-Vested is actually in the roadmap where when Chuck finally completes his first couple projects, then really truly, take away the gate, allowing other creative minds to come up, because now he's proved that it can be done. He'll onboard other creative minds. And how that will happen is they create full trailers. Say, for example, there's a competition, there's 20 of them. They create full trailers. Now,
these are trailers you can do on your iPhones, or you can pull images from other films to tell us your story. You get 2 minutes, because we're not reading a million scripts.
Yeah.
And in our community, we'll respond to those. They can be very entertaining. It's actually a new pitch style everybody's doing at the studios.
So then what happens is, like, if you're an A-Nation token holder, you would take your token and you vest your token, which means you lock your token away into that project for the period of time that project is in production. Once that project goes to distribution, before it goes to distribution, when you lock away those tokens, that project will decide on how many NFTs it will create or mint, and allow those NFTs be given to the A-Nation token holders that are willing to vest their token. So you get free NFTs for vesting your tokens. The film, the project they have will go into production. Once it goes into production, then you get your tokens back, but now you have the access and the holding of the NFT contract, which means you are equity ownership in the film. Now the film goes and does whatever it does, you will get to enjoy that profit. You get to enjoy that value of that film because of your NFT, because they're contracts. They're contracts that are immutable, locked, transparent, no lawyers, no nothing needed. You can pass it on to anyone else as long as they hold the contract. If the film At one point goes to another streaming platform, you get the residuals off it, it gets sent to the contract, and wherever the contract address is connected to it, those wallets will get the residuals. So this is a forever process. You own the film, it's part of you, it's part of your how should I say, your asset. So you can, you can have staking, all these other kind of things that we have created for later on. But that's the point, is that that's where he's going to be able to uplift and get other creative minds, number one. Number two, it allows the community to vote for whatever project to win, which is the best project, and that shows you that that's what the global community chose and picked to rise, because they were willing to take their tokens and invest it into that project, allowing the best ones to be able to be uplifted, and then the crappy ones to die.
So the global community is really important to us. The miracle of films that I've seen firsthand, that I could do something as crazy as The Mask and go to China and see people laugh, go to England and see people laugh. I mean, there really is an amazing universality of being human. It doesn't have to always be controversial or about politics. And I happen to have the fun of being very diverse early in my films and continue to be. And that'll be, of course, another element in this, especially bringing new voices globally as well. So we want to bring up the new filmmakers. We have all these friends in the different film community, the crypto community, part of which I love about all of this. And we want to bring them all together, move them forward, and based around our commercial event films, we'll bring up other smaller new filmmakers.
Yeah. And that's the key thing. Like, Chuck really wants to use this platform, the community, to bring the data set that he needs, because he has friends who actually have, you can go through that.
I've got friends who are making pretty good profit with data companies. They sell to studios. Everybody's crunching numbers. We're getting direct input from our own community already. I literally can jump online and say, which of these 3 young actors do you think is going to be a star?
Which he actually did.
I actually did. I was trying to decide between 3 new upcoming guys for a role, all in their 20s. And my community jumped on one guy. I had no idea. They jumped on one guy. So there's so many functions for us as filmmakers. This is a little bit selfish, this project. Grow a community that is directly involved in our films. I'm getting feedback early. It's a beta test as we develop our scripts and cast our films. And our community will be able to get an inside window, if they want to, on all that, including stunt practices and right through casting and the final shoot. So there's that fun, entertaining side to it too. But you guys are in it for the value of tokens. Every time I hype a film, that's going to jump. It's not as complicated as it might sound to non-crypto people. We're tying our films into our tokens. Think of that as an overview.
Yeah. So pretty much that ends up being the summary of what our token is about, or what A Nation is about. It's pretty much, we want to create change. And A Nation of Alpha stands for, Alpha, leading by example. So we're not better than anybody, and the point is the community, we lead by example. That's how we're alphas. And the A is for alpha, for audience. And the key terming that Chuck has coined is the audience. We are the audience.
And the audience together. We are the audience, and the audience is us.
So that's the point, is like, he wants to put everything, all the money, everything on the screen for people to enjoy. We want to stand there and see people smile.
We don't want to be stuck in studio overhead, but we will be studio partners in distribution, co-productions. We're not reinventing the wheel right off the beginning. We may do projects that are a hybrid, using a crypto element and fiat money element within a studio or independent distributors I work with. So I'm familiar with indie films. Basically, Paradise City is a very large indie at $20 million with stars. That they need product, people need content, and that's what we're all about, is creating films and creating more original films.
The fact of it is right now is there's so many, how should I say, so many companies in the Web3 space, in blockchain. You can talk to everyone. All of them want IP, intellectual property. But guess what? They all need and want IP. But shitty IP is shitty IP.
Okay, I wouldn't be, all right, but I would give them applause for that, folks. I wouldn't put it quite like that, but I know
they need IP that is truly, truly powerful enough to ensure that it has enough clout to push through and break down the gate, to allow people to actually be able to see that this is actually possible. So you need somebody with juice. You need somebody to be able to like go and push it forward and change the whole entire dynamic for everyone else. And that's the fact of it is. There's plenty of people out there who want to do it in a beautiful way. That's perfectly fine, great, doing a small scale. But Chuck has the ability to push everything forward, move the needle forward, and that's what we want to do. We want to be...
We want to have some fun doing it.
Exactly. And that's probably the biggest thing is like, that's why Chuck is doing this. He wants to be able to fly. And I want him to be able to fly with his creativity to allow him to be able to explore and grow. Like he said, the mask would not be made today because Cameron Diaz never acted before, okay?
I had to convince New Line the hard way to let me have a leading lady who'd never acted in anything before.
Also,
Cameron was
remember-
that charming gang, right?
Also, remember, New Line was an independent studio that wasn't...
New Line started as a small independent. My first directing gig was Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which was the highest grossing independent film ever made that year at the time, up to that time. And New Line is now part of Warner Brothers, and I hope to do the same thing with A Nation. So we're becoming part of the Hollywood community. We're not in any way against that.
Yeah.
We're working with partners.
Yeah, so that's the thing is collaboration is key. And Chuck, with his repertoire, with his pedigree, plenty of, you know, we call it fiat side, you know, they want to collaborate with them. It's just a question of him picking and choosing the project he wants to do, and then we ensure that we have the crypto side to be locked in to ensure that we are moving forward and prove that crypto can help fund a film.
So that's what we're creating content. That's the bottom line. And we're creating it using traditional devices, but empowering it with the crypto world.
So we'll leave it up for questions. Anyone want questions?
He's a good bad guy.
I guess I'm a good bad guy.
He does an awesome job, I'm telling you.
No,
He's one of the heavies. He is one of the bad guys, but you'll see there's two sides to his character in the film. There's a very good side too. He kicks ass, if that's what you're asking. It's amazing. Priya Lumberg, who's a new star to America, she's a big star in Thailand, is our secret weapon, and he has a fight scene with Priya that's unbelievable. She's a kickboxer.
Yeah, she kicked me.
Check it out. You haven't heard about it yet. We're just finishing the film. There'll be trailers out in a couple of months, I guess, but opening the end of the year.
Hi, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
Well, I can hear loud. You mentioned NFTs with the release of your film.
Absolutely.
Do you guys have a plan in place for that? Are you going to focus mainly on collectibles, or will they unlock real world?
All of the above.
Okay.
I have some pretty amazing collectibles from some of the films you've seen. We're going to do the same thing on Paradise City is not an A Nation film. It happens to be in my flow.
Okay.
Right? So I develop films, and then I keep the IP, and then we see what studio might be interested in them or what distributors I might be able to get. So Paradise City, I make nothing, but I keep the IP until we go into production. Then we onboard all the partners.
So Paradise City was like where we met. So of course it can't be A Nation if that's where we met and we created A Nation after that. But the point is that the NFT, for example, if we offer the NFT, it gives you a percentage equity ownership of Chuck's film. Say, for example, we state there's an amount of NFTs being created, a certain amount of number.
But key props will become the crown jewel in NFTs. But then we will use our cast's image. Mm-hmm. If it was Paradise City, it'd be Cade in 3D. But we definitely want to create that cash stream. We have to protect these films. We have to make sure they get into profits.
So do you have a creative team in place to help you know, incorporate the NFT component with the release of the movies, or are you working
That's
on that?
step two.
Yes, we have that in place. We have actually multiple collaboration that they want to collaborate. We're just trying to like narrow down who we want to collaborate, because they, you know, different. We need to make sure that the vision is in line to go into the same direction, and we want to collaborate with other projects to ensure that we can help others rise too at the same time. So that's the situation right now.
I'm just personally thrilled with not having to rely on the performance of the film alone, even on the various platforms, but to have NFTs. I have a very good record with film budgets and profits. I'm pretty disciplined about what market I'm going for. but to have the film itself and its profit potential, NFTs, which are pure profit practically, and the token value itself.
Any recommendation for content creators to be able to get to someone like you?
We will have we will have a way to onboard.
Yeah, so they vested where we would have like the competition. We would announce the competition. You create your full trailer. You create whatever it is, depending on what the content we're going for. Say, for example, we want a TV series or a film series or whatever it is, or one film. And then what happens is you go and you create the full trailer, right? You go into A Nation, you submit it. The group, the A Nation holders, will look at your stuff compared to everyone else, and they will vest their token in your project if they want you to go forward.
You'll be giving us a visual elevator pitch, basically.
So is that
these are faux trailers. We like them visual. Give us your hook. You can clip together. Those trailers are not generating a profit or anything. You can clip together things from other films, shoot some stuff, and pitch it, mix it, do something impressive for us.
Have you got a portal right now for that process?
That right now is in creation right now. So we have to not only create that, but first thing we need to do is the tokenized gateway. So the process is this. The first main point of the roadmap is first we need to break through the gate. So his project needs to land, you sit in the theaters and you see A Nation come up, and then the film rolls, and then everyone's like, all right, let's go.
So really, again, the business model is we'll start with one of I call them commercial films, but I love them. They're art films to me. But I like pop movies, and I like movies that play overseas. So that's the shark. All the pilot fish are going to be the new projects. And easily, a original idea, I know this has happened for horror films already for other folks, an original idea that blows our mind a little bit could easily be something we want to develop into a full-length feature. Maybe we're going to help you develop it into a short film that can go win some prizes. But I got to kind of put it on my shoulders first. There are other filmmakers of my caliber that we will onboard. It's not just about me. I can probably only direct one film a year. Yeah. I can produce the 3, though.
And that's the key thing. Like you heard him. He said, he'll direct one a year, and then he'll produce 3, and then the continuation and the ecosystem gets larger. We'll bring more people on board, proving that the system works. More quality comes in. Why?
There are named directors that are frustrated with Hollywood. They're not bitter, but they're frustrated getting their dream project made.
So slow.
For the wrong reasons. Yeah, it takes 5 years is the average in film development. There's a reason Jim Cameron moved to New Zealand, one of our most brilliant filmmakers, and had to create his own world outside the Hollywood system. We can do that on a smaller scale right away, starting this coming year. I'm starting now because I'm developing the screenplays. And benefit this whole community and entertain them at the same time and get valuable data feedback, more valuable as that community grows.
Yeah, and so that's the key thing about the way things are. I am in charge of the technical side. So as he's moving forward, I'm working in parallel, side by side with him, moving at the same time. But timing is everything, right? You got to time everything. Everything has to drop at the right time. So do remember, there's a time-lapse, time span of where Chuck needs to go. So his plan, once it starts getting initiated, then I will go side by side and I will create the ecosystem, the roadmap to go with it. End of the day, we want to become the case study. We want to be able to have our own blockchain that uses transparency, anti-piracy, reclamation of one's identity. All of it can be under the umbrella of A Nation. Why? If anyone went on to a project right now, a film project right now, you'll see hundreds of people working under that one project for a year, 2 years, depending on what it is.
We employ a lot of people.
Exactly. And now that will become the proof. The payments, this and that. Like we could even do okay, if you get paid with A Nation token, you get 5% more than you would get paid with fiat. Cool. Actor could be like, I'll take that. A Nation's going to appreciate because everything else is appreciating because they're doing great work, is reflecting that, go up. So the point is that then that will prove that can people get paid with crypto under that case study, and then
But we don't need to pay them in crypto this coming year.
No.
We don't want to confuse people. It's very simple.
Yeah.
The crypto can be changed into fiat money upon production We can protect that crypto fund that's isolated for the media company, and it's money to them. Eventually, I hope right now I think there's a stage in Ireland that will take crypto, but I'm hoping it changes over in the next few years. That's not really our mission. Our mission is to make exciting commercial films for the global community, benefit ourselves, our token holders, our partners and filmmakers, and trust me, once movie stars and known directors realize they can actually visibly track their net profits, or some people get gross profits, that's going to change things right
I want to jump in on that one. I'm a stunt guy. I've been doing film, this and that, and action acting, and I know there's a couple people out here that's actually done stunts. When I get my residuals, I do not know where the hell they came from. It's like they just drop, and I just think of it as a bonus. Because I'm like, how do I calculate this? Hell no, I can calculate this. That's it. I just see it, and I just think it's Christmas
You have
present.
to agree, or you make an enemy of the studio.
Exactly. That's it. I don't know where it came from. There's no transparency at all whatsoever. There's the middle part of it. All these middle people, we need to get them out and then clear the path A to B.
They're welcome, just not too many of them.
Yeah.
We need those. We need those we need the distribution. We'll have studio partners, we hope, in our plan, depending on the film. But again, we don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, and the key thing is that, guys, the contract is the key. Like when we create the contracts, the NFT contract, NFT is great. People think about it in the arts kind of way. I think about it as a contract, a digital contract that's immutable on the blockchain that can't be changed. You only can put data on top of it. You can't change it. So you can always go back to see what the data is, but you can't change that data. And that's the most amazing part, is that then you can track exactly what, who, and everyone who's getting paid. There's no more lying. There's no more like fibbing the numbers. Accounting goes out of play when everything is programmed, and you can read the programming.
Do we have more questions?
No, I think we'll take one more question. Can we take one? Anybody?
Let us know the time. We have
One more question. Yeah, one more question.
One more question.
Yeah, we'll do one more.
Hi, I'm Nathan Pell, by the way.
Hey.
How you doing? What's up, Chuck? How you doing, Kate? What are some challenges that you guys are having right now? Because I mean, looking at it from a grand scheme, it looks good. It sounds good. But I want to know, what are some challenges, and how did you guys overcome those challenges?
Well,
public speaking.
Yeah, public speaking. Yeah, public speaking. But no, like we did have challenges where we went from V1 to V2, where I had like three nights where I had to like recode the whole thing and actually move everyone over to V2, and I had to like move every single person one at a time, drop their tokens.
Staying up all night, man.
Yeah.
We did it all.
To get them to be able to have their token, to ensure that they know that I'm there for them. And the key thing is like, the project is only as good as the people behind it, right? So anything, Tesla, when it first came out, it's on Elon's back. Like Elon had to either be a good person or a bad person. Everything is either you have to trust the person behind, who's pulling the strings, who's doing the moves, and then that's the key thing I keep telling people all the time. Do your due diligence. And nothing we say is financial advice.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have to do our, what do you call it?
There's not
the disclaimer.
Yeah.
We're not giving financial advice. We're entertainers.
Yeah.
But this is the advice I personally took.
Yeah.
That this is amazing.
So pretty much it all comes down to trust. Can you trust the person behind it? They dox and not dox. Even people who are
We're
doxed.
doxing ourselves, man. Here
Yeah,
we are.
but even if people dox, it depends, right? So it's the key thing is your pedigree is, again, older than the crypto market itself.
So your point is that you consider it a challenge, that just trust in the crypto community of us.
Yeah.
Correct? Here I am. Those are my movies.
Yep.
I just finished another one coming out at the end of the year called Paradise City. Look, please check it out. And I am the success of my career I've always been about making sure my investors do well, making sure my cast goes up the next step, taking chances with my heart on new talent.
That's
and here we are.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing, guys. Like, you got to remember that. Like, this man doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need to do this at all. He's good. He has a pedigree. He can go get work anywhere he wants. They're all begging him right now. They literally are. But he's working with me.
I'm here to empower what we call the talent.
Change.
The talent, the actors, the directors, the writers, even the crews, People get their profit. It'll blow their minds when they actually start to get net profits without dense accounting surrounding it.
All right, guys, appreciate it. We want to move on out of respect for another group going on. If you guys have questions, we'll be down here. Then you could just ask us directly, and we'll just talk about it. Just like
thank you so much.
I'd rather talk convo
Thank
than
you.
do this public thing.
All right, yeah, let's.
brother?
You guys stand up there for a photo. Go ahead and stand up there for a photo. Here, I'll take the mic if you want.
I feel like we should do a.
There you go. Make it
How
an
awesome is that? I mean, these guys got so many things that are working in the background, and once this project really takes off, it's just going to go.
That was awesome, man. The movie.
You know, between the NFTs to be able to have ownership inside the films, you know, you get your residuals from that, the voting rights. There's a whole number of things that are involved with it. I appreciate everybody that came out to participate in this. I was going to answer a few more questions as they come up, but unfortunately, I do need to actually bolt. I have to go pick up my sister-in-law from the airport. But thank you again for everybody that showed up. I will work on getting an A-Nation video out, as well as give you some instruction tutorials. One of the things we're doing here over at Madmen Crypto is give you some tutorials, some how-tos on certain things. And, you know, as we're just getting off the ground, guys, appreciate everybody who shared it, liked it, and subscribed. You know, we will make it better and get stronger from here. We got the bottom. All we can go is up. So thanks again for coming out, and see you guys here next time. Appreciate you.
Go to is not .com, go to anation.media.
Yeah, yes. As Cade is actually saying right now, go to anation.media if you want to find out more information on A-Nation. Also could be found over on Twitter at A-Nation Token. All that's on the bottom of the screen here and inside the description. So if you guys have any questions, you can follow up there with any questions you may have. And as well as come over to our Telegram group, A-Nation Token over in our Telegram group. And one of our mods will definitely be able to answer any questions you might have.
Me too, man. I came in. I mean, you're in the industry. You're a content creator in the industry. I myself am not as knowledgeable on the entire industry, and some of the conversations I've been having and some of the speakers is incredible. And to be able to relay it at a level that's not super technical, I think, is what a lot of people have that misconception for. And you realize it's actually